thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'll be ready to mute if you ever need to, just in case.
Alright.
I'm sure we'll be fine, though.
Yeah, hopefully we're fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I probably should turn noise suppression on. Oh, Tempest, did you happen to catch any of my run that I did earlier?
Yeah, just a bit. Hang on.
No. All right then. Commentary was a little. There wasn't much commentary, but I got really good energy at the fight, so I'm pretty happy about that.
We're live. I believe we're live. Sorry about that, folks. This is what happens when you look away for just a moment. But in any case, hello everyone. My name is TempestMask1000, and this here is Mega Man Xtreme 2. I hope you all are ready for a good old blasting time, because this is going to be the Mega Man X category, or any % X mission. And joining me on co-coms, as you might have heard through our little talk, is the previous runner for Persona 5 Royal, Young Zorn.
Hello everybody, my name is Young Zorn. As Tempest mentioned, I actually ran here earlier. I was running Madarame's arc in Persona 5 Royal. And I'm back here again doing co-coms for Tempest's Mega Man Xtreme 2 run, or Rockman X2 Solar Racer, if you want to be pretentious.
Pretty much, because this is the Japanese version of the game that I'm going to be running for you guys today, and that is the official title of it. A little silly, but hey, it works.
Alright, so I'll just explain the controls. So, first, I probably
Options. Options, I think you mean. Well, yeah, okay.
Sorry,
it's fine. No, sorry. I will, I'll explain the options. Anyway, select button is up on top. I'm going to set that to X weapon change, because one of the things that we're going to be using with X's run is changing weapons. It's something that's practically exclusive for the most part to X's categories, for reasons that we'll get into later, because I will be changing this halfway through the run. Auto fire here is turned off, rapid fire is turned on. We'll explain what exactly happens with the damage tables when we get to a good point for that too. In any case, I'm ready to rock. Zorn, you ready to roll? Oop. I believe Zorn is... Oh, might be a bit of connection issue there. All right, well, in any case, we'll get started, and we'll have Zorn come back whenever the moment is able. But in the meantime, let's get this show rolling, and time will begin once I've selected X mission. So we will begin in. Oops. We will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Sorry, I was gone for a little bit.
Yep.
Somebody kept calling me.
No problem. Alright, well, we just started the run, and X and Zero are talking to Iris. This game takes place in between Mega Man X3 and X4, and that's why Iris here is alive and well. She's basically acting as a first-time navigator for the Maverick Hunters, maybe something of an internship from the Repla Force, if you will. And, yeah, here we have the intro stage. I apologize if there might be a bit of frame freezing or whatnot. Things can get a bit wacky on this computer sometimes, but in any case, we're going to roll with it. And here I am as X. So the first stage has an interesting little split path mechanic between the two characters. And for X's path, we got a few spikes, but interestingly enough, they do not instant kill you in this case. This is the only point in the game where spikes will just do some damage, and that's about it. We're already at the end, though, and we're going to come up to the first boss of the game, which is a fella called Skullhead, and well, something that I always love to call, out of my respect for the He-Man series, Mega Skeletor.
I refer to him as that too. So, chat, get your nyaz ready.
If you are a bit of a He-Man fan and you want to play along, then yes, get your nyaz indeed. Otherwise,
I'm not even a He-Man fan, and I still appreciate that.
That's fair. That's totally fair. It's just one of those goofy traditions that I've come up with. You might have heard some people call bosses like Mao the Giant from X3, Mr. Fisty, McGee, and stuff like that. And I'm just taking a little page from that in this case. But yeah, that was a very easy fight. All I had to do was just shoot the head. Sometimes he likes to spawn a platform that I can just ride on and make the shots easier. That's a bit of good luck, but unless you've got low health, unless you don't have low health, it can be a bit dangerous. Sometimes it can kill you, basically, so, you know. In any case, Zorn, explain what's happening here.
Alright, I love when you do this. Alright, so basically, okay, so the story here is that X and Zero decided to go onto an island. I forgot the name of it. I think
Lagoose Island.
Alright, and basically, oh my gosh, I keep repeating myself.
Just roll with it, just roll with it.
Alright, okay, so these people right here, this guy, Gareth, he basically, he basically said, after you defeated the first boss, he said, hey, I want you, you guys want to fight me? Alright, fight these 8 Mavericks that for no particular reason whatsoever look like Mavericks that you fought in the past. Totally no particular reason they look like that.
Just a mere coincidence, yes.
No Sigmas involved at all.
Nuh-uh.
Alright, so anyway, alright, so this is Neon Tiger, and, this is the ride armor. The ride armor, for this section right here, we have to use the ride armor to punch through these logs right here.
Oh, come on, get out, thank you.
It's the only way we can really, get through this at all.
Pretty much.
We have to. Something weird I've never noticed until someone pointed it out. I think it was Tempest. You can't pause. Actually, no, I think it was Focus Sight. But anyway, you can't pause for some reason when you're in the ride armor. So, you basically have to, as Focus put it, you have to constantly be gaming during that segment.
Yeah, pretty much. Another weird thing about the ride armor that you don't see in the run is that it really actually does have a charge attack. It's just that rapid fire is on, so that prevents us from charging. And even if I did use it, it's really just a dash punch that isn't all that useful. But it could come in handy. I just don't think that there's any point in the level design that gives a proper opportunity to show it off. Which is a bit of a shame because I do appreciate the inclusion of this version of the ride armor. It's, I do have a bit of a soft spot for the different varieties in X3, but, you know, it is what it is. In any case, here's Neon Tiger, and after going through a stage that basically has some resemblance to Sting Chameleon stage architecture at one point or another, while the rest being original, this guy gives us a fight that's similar to X3. He's a bit dulled down, though, and that's fair because, well, as you can see, the Ray Splasher isn't so erratic and as you remember it to be, which is good. I mean, you know, it makes it easy to dodge, but if he gets a bit up close and personal, that's where the damage can really rack up and stuff, and that's where you want to be careful. And there we go.
I personally like this version of Neon Tiger a lot more, mainly because I hate the X3 equivalent. But whatever. I think I'm just bad at X3.
Honestly, some games in the classic X games are not that easy to master, so you know, it's not for everyone. If anything, X3, I understand that it's one of the more mixed opinion games of the original trilogy. I personally like what it does in most cases, but yeah, I can understand where it might feel uninspired or awkward to some. The good news is that Xtreme 2 seems to find a rather decent blend of, you know, not so, I guess not so random things, but at the same time, some of the things it does like to throw at us are stuff that can be a little bit unfair sometimes, depending on your opinion of the matter. For instance, here's Volt Catfish's stage, which again takes another resemblance in stage design to a particular Maverick. Zorn, mind explaining why you think that is?
I had a really weird theory that, okay, so this stage is based off of Toxic Seahorse. I have a very strange theory that Toxic Seahorse was originally planned for this, but they just decided to not put him in there for one reason or another. whatever that reason is, I don't know, but it's just a really weird and dumb theory that I came up with. I
Pretty
don't know
accurate
how
one,
to
though,
explain
I'd
it,
say.
though. Yeah, the stage does resemble Toxic Seahorse's stage more than it does Volt Catfish.
We will get to excuse me. We will get to another original section in just a bit, though. I say that because that's basically what the stage design of this game can amount to. There's enough referencing of the old stuff, but the game does try to branch off into new things, unlike its prequel, Xtreme 1, which is a bit more...
Oh!
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get the cycle skip there. I call that title skip for the fun of it.
I call it too.
Yeah. Just a little... I sometimes like to come up with fancy little names for the smallest of things. But, yeah, that said... where was I? Oh, yeah. Mega Man Xtreme 1, the prequel game, has a little more faithful level design, which can be a blessing and a curse to its identity as an otherwise original portable game to the X timeline. Because, as you may have gathered, this game and Xtreme 1 are considered canon. Actually, a fun fact about that is Xtreme 2 gets mentioned briefly by an X cutscene in X6. This was probably planned, considering both games did come out around the same year, in Japan at least, because Xtreme 2 recently turned 20, and X6 will be doing so later on in November. So I would assume that the inclusion of the Erasure Incident, which is the name for the plot, this plot's big event, is mentioned, so to speak. If you were curious to know which one that is, that would be High Max after you beat him as X. In any case, that was Volt Catfish. All I did was stunlock him using Neon Tiger's Ray Claw. Very easy, but E-strat. But admittedly, he's one of the worst Mavericks to take on without his weapon, unless you know how to handle his unfair attacks. A bit of an irony, if you will.
Well, alright, so here's some more exposition. This is Berkana. She is like I'm pretty sure she's one of the only female villains in the X series. I'm pretty sure that there was another female villain in the Mega Man X series. Yep. I think she's from Command Mission. I heard her name once, but I don't remember what it is.
It was Ferrum, one of the cadre of the Rebellion Army.
Ferrum, got it.
Who recently got an extra costume in the mobile game Mega Man X Dive, but you know, that's another story for another time.
I still need to check that game out.
Anyway. I'm looking forward to the official release.
Wait. Tempest, I just noticed something.
Yes?
There's a weird audio delay problem, I think, or a video delay problem. It's playing Mammoth's music right now, but the audio is Mammoth's music, but you're currently in Octopus's stage. I don't know why.
That's because this game is absolutely programmed in the Japanese version to play the wrong song. Yeah, what you're hearing is not a bug, it's actually the real deal. And for some reason, they did fix this in the international version. So when I first got this game, because I do have a physical copy of the international version, or the US version, yeah, they did manage to fix this little swap up. But in Rockman X2 Solar Racer, not the case. Quite surprising when you think about it, because it sure made me wonder if I was playing the correct game or not, or if it was just some kind of mod, which... Oh boy, that definitely threw me for a loop. Certainly did for Focus as well. Shout out to our friend Focusite, by the way. But here's the Utuboros, a very simple enough fight as long as you can get enough shots on the head or the tail. Weakness, both being the weak spot, of course. And coming up is one of my favorite strats. Zorn, would you mind explaining?
As Focus says, we are going to make some calamari. So we got so basically, you know how in X1 you could use the boomerang cutter to cut off Octopus's tentacles? You can do the same with Rayclot, but it's even more broken because he has this really long stun animation where his iframes still run out. It's busted. It
pretty much is, but then he will jump out of that stun animation eventually. which means that he will continue to jump at me, but he does not use his life-draining tornado attack anymore at that point. So it's not the worst thing, but it definitely can cause a bit of grief if you're not so lucky with him.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good fight, though. I was definitely happy with that one.
Thankfully, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I have died to him a couple of times, and one of the things that you'll notice with like most Mega Man games is that ammo consumption can carry over if you die in a stage and respawn at a checkpoint. There's no helping you there, but there is a little something that can make that potentially easier. There is an autosave feature in this game that soft resetting can indeed help you with. So you might have noticed that there are these platforms that I go over and then the screen will flash. That is the checkpoint in the levels, and while checkpoints also exist before the boss corridors, only the ones with the platforms will register for autosave. And once you go into the continue screen, it asks if you want to keep going from there. The best part is that the game does refill all of your health and weapon ammo, so it is a very safe way to sort of continue something if you're unsure. Still have the same amount of lives as you did before, I believe, but even then it's a nice benefit. And this was made possible by an in-cartridge battery, of course. Otherwise, yeah. Ooh, tow! That was very unfortunate.
Ah, man, that sucks.
Oh well. Keep on trucking on. Not the most exciting place to die first, but it could be worse. So yeah, here we are at the final Maverick already. You might have noticed that X Mission has it split to 4 Mavericks instead of the traditional 8. This is because there is a true ending mode of the game called Xtreme. And Extreme mode is unlocked by either completing the game as X and then saving the file and playing it again, but this time as 0, or vice versa. Or you collect enough DNA souls, and then it unlocks a part in the parts shop that lets you unlock Extreme mode that way. And speaking of DNA souls, let's talk about that real quick as we get the next cutscene of Gareth inviting us to the evil lair of him and Burkana.
Before that, I want to mention, I don't think I've ever seen you do that strat before, and I don't even think I've seen that ever. Is that like a safety strat or something? Or
I don't know about safety strat. If you're talking about hugging the wall, I do normally do that.
No, I was talking about the pellets. No, I was talking about the pellets you fired.
Oh, that was totally... I was just totally blanked out on that for a moment.
Oh. Fair enough. Anyway, we are now going to, we're now gonna go to Gareth and Burkana's lair now that we've defeated the completely unrelated Mavericks that look similar to Mavericks we've fought in the past. Again, there's no reason that they look the way they do. Anyway, here we are at Burkana's stage. So here, Tempest is going to equip Buster 1 and Buster 2, and now he is going to One, two. Oh man, I assume you died. Oh man.
Unfortunately, that can be a bit slippery. I'm gonna take a safety death here and regain my lives because I just feel it's a bit more worth it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but hey, it's not the first time that's happened. Again, I was just trying to go fast, really. So all that occurred was I missed the platforming, and that's about it. No big deal, though. Of course, the game is pretty generous with the continue system, and of course, you always have auto saves if you ever need that to return to where you were last. So you know. But yeah, as Zorn, you were saying.
Tempest switched the select button to the scramble chain, as it's called in Japan, which basically makes it so what was going on there?
I have no idea. I was just getting interrupted by the bats. This is quite the bizarre luck today. Oh well.
This is quite the speed run.
But we go fast regardless.
Yep. Anyway, coming up in a little bit, we have Belgarder. Again, no affiliation with Sigma whatsoever.
Yeah, despite being his guard dog from X1. I honestly think that Burkana might have a bit of an obsession with Sigma, a bit of an unhealthy one.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit of a mild one, I'd say, maybe. I mean,
You say mild.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she has an obsession with Sigma, I don't know.
Oh, there, whew, that was a close one. I wasn't sure if I would die from that spark ball right there. So as you might have seen, Velgarder can be a one-way fight or a two-way fight. One way in which I just used the Busted Buster thanks to Buster Plus 1 and Buster Plus 2, or it just goes quickly, or he just does enough actions that make him a bit harder to hit, and it just becomes slightly more annoying. Admittedly, though, the fight can be a lot more dangerous if you're playing a zero mission run, so, you know, it's just a little something. It's kind of funny because, as you may know, in X1, most runners usually go for like 100% categories, and in that, we just take out the Wolfo with the Hadouken, but not in this case. In any case, though,
I think this is the rare exception to an X game where the at least the mode that we're playing right now, I think this is the only exception for an X game where the 100% category is worse than the 90% category.
I would think that the 100% category is a bit more lenient, but I guess I wouldn't consider it as rewarding as compared to some of the other 100% categories. I kind of see where you're going with that, yeah, and I somewhat agree. It's not the worst thing though to 100% X mission. I just think that any percent X mission is probably what I consider to be the more go-to beginner-friendly category because it's not like there's that much of a difference.
Wait until just wait until you get to Volt Catfish in 100%. Anyway, this
I mean, you could just start on Neon Tiger and take an extra revisit.
This is Internal Screaming. Again, no affiliation with Sigma. No heads at all. No heads that were kind of attached to him that look like a Sigma. The official name, by the way, is Izaz and Suilo.
Yes. Not sure which one is Izaz, not sure which one is Suilo, and of course.
I assume the small one is Izaz.
Yeah, I could agree with that one. It's basically, I think it's supposed to be a play on Ether and Soul. At least that's one, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, let's actually talk about DNA Souls while I take care of poor boss design 101 with the screen crunch. Because admittedly, this guy is the bane of a lot of players' existences when it comes to casual stuff. But luckily, we can push him back with Zero Sable. Saber.
Sable? What?
Yeah. Shout out to Sable Dragon Rook, Sable Rook Dragon, a Spyro runner, and a good friend.
That was very scary. Surprised you didn't use Zero Final at all there, actually.
Well, that's because... oh, I forgot I have that. This is a very... this is a very JoJo's Bizarre run today, I gotta say. Oh well. At least we're on good time. We're in good pace, honestly. This could very well PB if all things go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In any case, let's quickly discuss the part system because I didn't get the chance to explain that earlier. So, like most PlayStation X games, I say most because I'm pretty sure there's only X5 and X6. There is a parts shop in Xtreme 2. How it works is you have DNA Souls, which are these diamond-shaped with white center-looking health or weapon refills that the enemies will only drop. And they come in different values. Single clusters, as I call them, are 4 apiece. Double clusters are 8, and triple clusters are normally 16, but sometimes they can be 12. In a similar effect, because the game, and by that I mean the game simply can choose a triple cluster to sometimes be 12. To that similar effect, the bosses, when I defeat them, drop 100 DNA souls, 200 DNA souls, but sometimes they can drop 100. And that's especially not so good if you're doing a run that requires you to have 200 souls to unlock Saber plus 1 by beating Skullhead. So, yeah. It can be a bit...
Should probably mention that last section. You need the dash boots for that section because you'll just die if you don't. There's no way to our knowledge, there's no way to pass that without the dash boots at all.
Right. Yeah, as far as we know anyway, there doesn't seem to be any developer-intended solution. That was a very interesting upwards boost. Nice.
Whoa!
I like that. I hope I can. I'm gonna have to look back at that and see if I can pull that off again. But in any case, we're coming up on time very soon. This is Bracana. She will be our final boss indeed. I just realized I forgot to split after Isaz and Suelo, so I'm definitely gonna have to fix that again. But no problem. Anyway, time is on the final hit, and let's see what happens. If I do die, though, I'm gonna have to initiate that conversation again, which is pretty weird, but it's whatever. So, we hate the alphabet because she likes to use that against us. These A and B spheres will not only lock that particular button, but also they cause the floor or walls to turn into spikes and time. Yo, that's a PB!
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go!
What was the final time?
On my end, it's looking to be a 22 minutes, 10 seconds, .69.
How much of that PB by?
At least 13 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I got this being at UKSM, the Easter Marathon for War Child. That's pretty cool, though.
Nice.
But yeah. Anyway, that was the full extent of any %X mission. Unfortunately, it's not the full, broad expanse of what the game has to offer, but it is, again, a very fun and beginner-friendly category, so if anyone is interested in giving this a shot, I would definitely recommend giving this a try first and see if you can get used to the stuff. But in any case, alright, so I'm just gonna quickly, before I give some shoutouts, yeah, I didn't get to finish the DNA souls. Basically, we collect them. We need to have a total of unspent DNA souls, and that unlocks a part of the shop. And that's basically it. So, with that said, though, that was, again, any %X mission, and I'd like to give a huge shout-out to the Mega Man X speedrunning community. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can go to Mega Man RTA leaderboard, and there should be a page with all the different Discord links to the other communities as well. Shout out to and for the Xtreme group, we're kind of a handful of runners, but that does make it a bit easy to know who does what and stuff. So big shout outs to our friends Phazon Knight, who hasn't been around for a while, probably a bit busy, but we love you anyway. Focus Sight, who got one of the last world records in Xtreme 100% at a 36-minute pace. Curitiba, the current world record for that holder for that category, and the first to reach 35 minutes. Let's see, K Poisson, who also holds who basically holds the other world records in the categories, and also Elpis, who formerly held the Xtreme any percent record. Zord, would you like to say any closing words before we go?
You know, I'm just surprised that Capcom was able to make this on a Game Boy Color.
Absolutely. This game is honestly wonderful, and I'm so glad that I discovered it. This was my first owned X game, and it really means a lot to me. So getting to run it as my debut game seemed all too fitting. And having done so for a year now is just something, I tell you. Happy 20th anniversary, Xtreme, too.
Yeah, alright.
So
Alright, I think I'm done now.
Yep, so we're gonna let you all go, and coming up next is my good pal Osmorn. So, yeah, good luck, buddy, with your runs, and until we meet again, this is TempestMask1000 saying you'll see me again tomorrow, but for now, ciao, amici.